Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Upgrade. This was written and directed by Leigh Whannell and it stars Logan Mitchell-Green. And it's the story of Ray, played by Logan, who's in a world set in the near future. He is a mechanic and still uses his hands, where there's a lot of technology now that takes over from them manually doing things. So he's a bit fearful for technology to begin with. We're introduced to him fixing a car, and then we're introduced to his wife. The car he's fixing is for a particular techie sort of character who's created a variety of different things, and he's a bit of a recluse living in his house. So he goes to drop off the car, and then as they're returning home, a crash happens. Some criminal elements appear, begin to rob both of them, and then what transpires is his wife is killed and he is made a quadriplegic after being shot in the neck. The film really follows him with his struggle and the death of his wife, and being in a wheelchair now, and struggles to find meaning in life. He just wants everything to end because he can't go on without his wife or being able to walk. After an incident, he ends up in hospital. A scientist designer appears to him and says he has a way for him to be able to walk again. It would involve implanting a chip in his spine that would help him be able to move once more. First, Gray's a bit reluctant to get involved in this because he doesn't want to keep going, but then he finally does accept it and he's implanted with this thing. What transpires is really him trying to work out who killed his wife and made him a quadriplegic. And he goes, and it becomes a revenge story after that. There's a lot of technology, new technology happening within it. There are men with guns in their arms. There are men with a variety of other physical attributes that are added to them. All of this leads to a pretty full-on ending that is unique and different compared to a variety of other sort of films. That's all I'm really going to say about the plot. You have to sort of go and see it to see what I mean, but it is a very good film. I've been a big fan of Leigh Whannell since the Saw, when he began in the Saw franchise, as well as the Insidious. And I think he's become a really good writer and director. This is his second feature as director. His first was Insidious 3, which he also wrote. But what I really like about this film is he's able to capture a futuristic world in the near future, not way into the future, but just in the near future. And there's a lot of technology. There's cars that drive themselves. There's drones that, you know, are used by police to monitor particular areas, and you can track anybody by these sort of drones. There's a lot of technology happening, body improvements, and a variety of other things. And I think what was really great is setting it just in the near future. It didn't have to be so science fiction-y and over the top with designs and stuff like that. Like in the city, there is designs of buildings that are different, as well as the designs of the cars that drive themselves and the technology that does exist. There are people within the world who are against technology, and we get a glimpse of a little bit of those and a variety of other people throughout the film. I think it does a good job of setting up the Grey character and his wife, Asha, and their relationship, and it sets up a variety of other characters. What I would say is not all the characters have a lot of depth, but in saying that, they are all interesting, unique characters within that world, and you can accept that. I think with a lot of other films where there's no depth to them, you want more. With this, it sort of works within it because Grey is really the character we're following. They set him up really well, and you really connect with him, and you want to go on this journey. You want to see him seek vengeance for what's happened to him, and you want to see more of the world that he's involved in. It's just the way it looks. The music's really great. It reminds me a bit of movies like Blade Runner, and it has the feel and look of like the Saw films in a way, but it's also its own unique thing. Just everything about this film is well put together and well directed, and I think Leigh's done a really excellent job. And the word that comes to mind to describe this film is refreshing. It takes a revenge film and throws a bit of sci-fi in there, and you know, your normal sort of vengeance sort of film where goes along, has to kill everybody and work out who's killed his wife and put him in this situation. But it also has a lot of differences in it. There's a lot of twists and turns along the way. The film goes in different directions that you don't expect. Really refreshing and something different. Even the ending is very different. I'm not going to give anything away. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But I thought the ending was really refreshing and interesting, and I liked the way it went. I want to spend a bit of time talking about the actors. So Logan Marshall-Green, who's in it, he does a really great job. He's come a long way since the OC as Ryan's brother on that show, and he's also popped up in a few other films such as Prometheus and a few other films that I've kind of liked him in. I find him a solid actor. He gives solid performances. He's really good at creating characters that you care about. And what makes him really effective in this is the look on his face, as if he's being controlled by this STEM thing that takes over. And just these sort of crazy looks on his face as if to say, what the hell's going on? And it's really solid sort of acting in that part. And also the way he moves and walks is very stiff, like a robot type thing, like it's taken over, which is very effective. He does a really great job in here, and I really like that aspect to it. I really loved the way it was shot. The camera work was fantastic in it. There was moments that it felt like you were in a video game of sorts, where the camera's just sort of tied to him in a way and you follow him through this, and these moments where he does flips or acrobatic sort of stuff and the camera goes with him. And just the use of camera work and design that they use in it is brilliant. The lighting is fantastic. Most of the film was shot in Australia, but they used dingy parts of it, and it does really well. And most of the cast is Australian. Logan and the lady who plays the cop, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the cast is Australian. It looks really good, and it's a very interesting film, and it's unique and different. And I was so happy to see something like this after so many films that have been okay, but this was really a standout so far this year. Final verdict. I really liked this film. I thought it was unique and different. And if you like something that's a bit different with a bit of sci-fi and a revenge tale, you may enjoy this. If you like to see films set in a sort of a near future, working with technology and the dangers of technology taking over and making the human race obsolete, you might enjoy this as well. It's not going to be a film for everyone. There are gory moments in it and very violent scenes. It's not as violent as I thought it would be, but it still has violent elements that people may not like and may turn people off. But if you want something with a refreshing feel and look and a refreshing ending, you may enjoy this. Look, I'm going to give this film 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was very well done and a brilliant sort of film, and a refreshing, exciting movie that I've seen the last month, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, that's all from me today. If you've enjoyed what you've heard here, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.